Before we dive into a little behind the scenes where I show you how I upload my patterns to print-on-demand sites, I want to take a second and give you my inside scoop into print-on-demand sites by answering this one big question. Is it possible to make money through print-on-demand? After all, there is so much competition. Answer: absolutely. Here are my best tips for succeeding on print-on-demand based off of my 8 years of being a top seller on Society6. Tip 1. Your personal shop on a print-on-demand site makes for a fabulous portfolio. In fact, this is how many of my licensors actually found me. They found many of my designs on Society6 first, and then they clicked my bio and found a link to either my email address, my website, or my social media handles all in my bio. This is why it is so important to have your contact information listed in your bio. Whether it's your email, link to social, or website, or all of the above, this makes it really easy for clients to find you and reach out. Tip 2. You can and should sell your designs through multiple print-on-demand sites. As long as the platforms you're selling through stipulate that all the designs you upload are non-exclusive only, you're good to go. Always read the terms and conditions to make sure that the licensing agreement is non-exclusive and that you always retain the full copyright to your designs. Tip 3. Look for new print-on-demand companies so you are first in the door if they make it big. Society6 is a fabulous print-on-demand site, but they've been around since 2009 and they have a lot of content creators just like me selling through their platform. This is good and bad. It's good because they're a well-recognized company. And like I mentioned, many of my clients initially found me because they found my work on Society6 first. But it can be hard to get noticed when you're competing with thousands or hundreds of thousands of other artists. So one strategy is to look for new print-on-demand websites so you can grow with them. Mixstyles is one that I got involved with at the very end of 2019. And the very next year, 2020, they were actually my third most profitable print-on-demand site. It can pay off big time to be first in the door. New print-on-demand sites are opening up all the time, so I recommend doing some research online to find new ones before they become massively popular. Tip 4. Upload your artwork consistently. My goal is to upload one new design every day to print-on-demand websites. And of course, by creating 10 different color palettes out of one design, that gives me 10 full days worth of uploads, which is awesome. I don't upload all of my color palettes at once. Instead, I try to spread them out over a few weeks or months so my entire feed isn't just one design in multiple colorways. Alright, time for the bonus example to show you how I streamline the process for uploading my designs to the 3 primary print-on-demand sites I'll be showing today: Society6, Spoonflower, and Redbubble. I hear from a lot of people that uploading your files to print-on-demand sites can be a big pain, and trust me, I have definitely been there. So I'm going to show you my method. Plus, I'll show you how I optimize for keywords and titles to get the most traction out of my artwork. I'm going to start under the assumption that you already have accounts set up on these sites. If not, it's really simple to get your shop set up. I'm going to start by uploading my sweet floral pattern in the original color palette. Also, quick reminder that if you followed along using my exact same floral illustration, you can't upload it to sell online since I'm the one who designed it. However, if you have your own pattern that you digitized in this class that isn't mine, go for it. So I'll start by opening up Society6. Alright, so I'm going to start right here with Society6. So I'll hit Sell, and then go here to Add New Artwork, select File, and in my Sweet Florals folder, I'm going to start again with that original pink-blue color palette as the pattern file. Not the block, but the pattern for Society6. I'll go ahead and press Open, and it's called Sweet Florals, Pink and Blue. Perfect. I'm going to go ahead and Command A to select that, Command C to copy, and then go over here to Redbubble. So I'll go up to my account, add new artwork, upload new work, and grab that exact same pattern. Press open, and click under title, Command V to paste. And next up is Spoonflower. So I'll go to my dashboard, click where it says Add Designs, and now something I want to point out. Your files for Spoonflower have to be less than 40 megabytes. So if I go over here to my folder, my block file is actually quite a bit bigger. So I'm going to go ahead and resize that down just for Spoonflower, but not right over my original. So I'll open up that block in Photoshop and go to Image, Image Size, and let's bring that down to 20 by 20 inches, so half of the original size. Press OK. File, Save As. Remember, we don't want to write over the original block because that's much higher res, so if a licensing client or partner needs that later, we still have the high res block to send them, so we'll do a lower res for Spoonflower since we're over that file limit. So after block, I'm just going to do Spoonflower, and that's my reminder to myself that this block is actually a lower res image. Again, it's a JPEG. I'll go ahead and press Save. And now let's take a look over here on our files. Perfect, so now we're under that 40 meg limit, which is exactly what we want. So now I can go back to Spoonflower, click Choose Files, grab that Spoonflower option, and press Open. I've confirmed my copyright, and I want to upload. So while we're waiting on those uploads, I'm going to show you a little trick I use in my folders. So we're back here in my Sweet Florals folder, and there's a lot of stuff going on in here. So what I've just done is uploaded this color palette to all 3 print-on-demand sites. So I want to create a little reminder to not upload this again a few weeks or months or years from now. And I'm going to use a tool called a color tag, which is something you can do with MacBooks. So what I'm going to do is select all of my files, Command A, press Command and click to unselect those original scans, and I'm going to Control click and put a red tag on there to remind myself to upload these to Redbubble. Control click again, put a purple tag on there to remind myself to upload these to Society6, and put a green tag on there to remind myself to upload these to Spoonflower. Now, since I've already uploaded the pink-blue version, I can go ahead and turn those tags off since I've already done that action. So again, Control click, I'll go to my tags and delete all 3. So now if I open up this folder a few days or months or years from now, I'll know that everything that has a color tag on it is a file that still needs to be uploaded to these print-on-demand websites. So since I have thousands of designs in my portfolio, this is a really good way to just give myself a quick reminder of what has been uploaded and what has not yet been uploaded. All right, so going back to Society6, it finished uploading. I'll go ahead and press Continue. Yes, this is my work. No, it's not mature. Continue. And the category for this is painting. And before I add my tags, I'm actually going to go ahead and do that over here on Redbubble. So keyword tags are any words that relate to what your artwork might be. And these are really, really valuable to include when you upload your design because many users will find your work because they've searched maybe one of these tag words. So for this, I'm going to use tags like flower, flowers, floral, florals, pattern, bloom, spring, summer, nature, leaf, leaves, watercolor, garden, vacation, colorful, and my brand name, Cat Coke. I think that's a pretty good number of tags, and now that they're listed, I'll do Command A to select all, Command C to copy, and then come back over here to Society6 and paste them here. Perfect. And the reason I do it this way is so I only have to write out the tags once, and then I can just copy and paste into Society6 and Spoonflower. Speaking of, let's go over here to Spoonflower and paste those tags in. I'm also going to go ahead and revise the title. sweet florals, pink and blue. I keep my titles consistent across all print-on-demand sites. All right, let's go back to Society 6. So by default, many of the products start out being toggled off, so I want to find the ones that are off and turn them back on. And now for some products like this poster, I think this design is too small for this exact product. So I want to go ahead and enlarge it on this poster. So I'll go to Edit. Oh, don't forget to save your changes. All right, Edit. And this is where I can bring that scale up a little bit to make it look a little bit more natural on a poster. And one thing I want to keep in mind is that my signature is always visible. So in this case, it's up here twice. I think that's okay. And I want to point out here with the scale, this is 100% of what I'm able to scale this artwork as on this product. Society 6 won't let me scale it past what it's capable of to still print with a high quality resolution. So because these files are again so massive, I can actually get this pretty big. I don't need it that big, but I just want to point it out so that you can see an example. Society 6 will never allow you to scale your product past what it's capable of to still print with a high quality resolution, which is pretty awesome. All right, let's bring that back down. Yeah, I think this placement looks really nice, and there's my signature right there. So we'll go ahead and save and enable. And this is one of the cool things. So Society 6 lets you batch enable your products, which means we don't have to do the exact same enlarging and resizing thing for every product. So for products that have comparable dimensions, we can go ahead and tick more than one on. So serving tray, wall hanging, and acrylic tray, let's go ahead and make them look exactly like this. Enable. Cool, so now you can see how this looks with a larger design. I think it looks a lot better. So what I'll do is just go through, toggle on the ones that are good to go, and maybe edit and adjust the ones that need to have that pattern be a little bit larger. For example, this throw pillow, I didn't really like the way it looked with a very intricate fine pattern. I think patterns look a little bit better when they're modern and enlarged, so I'm gonna blow this one up a little bit too. Again, my signature is getting cut off here and here, so I'm just going to adjust it to make sure my signature is still visible. Perfect. And you can always generate a preview to see what that scale looks like on the product. So this is just a helpful tool to see your design in real time on a product. So that looks awesome to me. There's my signature, nice and evident, but not too overpowering. And I'll go ahead and press save and enable. I want that same dimension for the tote bag, for the wall wood art, and pretty much all of these, except wallpaper, and we're gonna get there in a second. Cool, so now I can see what my enlarged design looks like as wood wall art, because remember, we enabled this when we edited the pillow. I also see how it looks larger on things like wall clocks and that floor pillow. But what I want to tackle next is wallpaper, because this does require a repeat pattern. So I'll go to Edit, and remember, this pattern file isn't a perfect repeat. You can see the flower that gets cropped off on the left side isn't getting repeated perfectly on the right side. So this is where the block comes in handy for Society 6. So I'm going to upload a new file, go ahead and grab that block, and press open. So wallpaper is the one product on Society 6 that actually requires a seamless pattern. So this is the only product that I actually upload that block to. On Society 6, everything else is that pattern file, which remember is not a perfect repeat. So I save that block for just wallpaper on Society 6. All right, so while this is uploading, I'm gonna go over here to Redbubble and start enabling some products. I generally turn off patterns on t-shirts like this. I don't think they look very good. They work much better as a full-on print, like on these shirts right here. Stickers, why not? Somebody might be interested in that. And I'll just continue scrolling down. Same thing, I want to go ahead and scale up the pattern on the pillow, which you can see in real time, which is really helpful, and get it to a nice place here. Where's my signature? There it is down there. Cool, I'll go ahead and apply changes. So you can't batch enable products on Redbubble like you can with Society 6. so it's a little bit more maintenance. So I'll go down here, enable the skirt, and pretty much go ahead and turn everything on. For some things, I might want to resize them and make the pattern a little bit larger. So I'll just go through and enable products that are good to go and resize ones that need a little bit more work. So I'm going to show you something down here. So I'll use the duffel bag as an example. I think this pattern looks too big on that product, and I actually want it to get a lot smaller and fine-tuned. So even though that pattern file is uploaded, we can still get there with Redbubble. So I'm going to go to Edit, and I can't bring my pattern any smaller because that's literally where it ends. So if I want my pattern to be smaller on the product, what do? The block. So I'll go to Replace Image. I'm going to grab this block and upload it. So one of the cool things with Redbubble is they actually allow you to upload your block and then control how it gets stacked and repeated and how large and small it gets. You can't do this with Society6, so Redbubble's pretty cool in that way. So I need to wait for this to upload before I show you how. So while that's still uploading, I'm gonna go over here to Spoonflower. My design is already uploaded. I have my title, all of my tags, and what I want to do is position this so it looks good on a product. So remember that block was really big, so our pattern is huge on fabric. It's kind of hard to get an idea for scale right here on Redbubble, even with the ruler. I'm a visual person, so I need to see what it looks like on a real product. And you can do that by choosing View All Products. So I'm going to right-click and open this in a new tab so that this stays right here, and I can go over to my new tab and see what it looks like on a real product. So wallpaper, interesting. All right, here we go. So the pattern looks really cool on products actually, but it's way too big. So even here on this pillow, that's way too massive of a pattern. I definitely want to scale it down a little bit, maybe a lot bit. So to make the pattern a little tighter and smaller, I can go right over here and click smaller. 21, that's literally half the size of where we were before with 40. Let's go even smaller and see what happens. 10.5. This one's looking pretty good. I'll go ahead and save the layout. And while that's saving, I'm gonna go back and check my progress on Society6. Cool, so the block has fully uploaded right here to our wallpaper product. Let's go ahead and click Generate Previews to see how it looks. Awesome, that looks really good as wallpaper actually. So you can see that that seamless pattern did a perfect job of repeating, stacking, and tiling absolutely perfectly with no misaligned edges. So that looks awesome. I'll go ahead and click Save and Enable. I don't need this on any other products, so I'll click Skip this step. Cool, so at this point, I'll just go through Society6, enable products that look good, and go ahead and edit products where I want to adjust that scale a little bit. Like this rug, I might bring that up a little bit and make sure my signature is still included somewhere in that design. Press Save and enable that for the other product types as well. Society6 has a lot of different products, so once you finish going through and enabling all of them, you can come over here and publish your artwork. When it's published, the status here will change to indicate that, and you'll be able to see it live on your Society6 shop in all of the products that you enabled, which is pretty cool. All right, so Society6 is finished. Let's go over here to Redbubble and check our progress. So the block finished uploading for our duffel bags. As you can see, the elements got even larger on those duffel bags, which we don't want, but instead we uploaded that block so we can scale it. You have the option to grid your pattern, and that way you can make it as small and detailed as you like, or as big as this, which again, we don't want for the duffel bag. So again, I can see this in real time as I scale it, and I can find a nice size that works really well. I actually like that a lot, so I'll press Apply Changes. So with Redbubble, you have both options. You can upload your pattern file, or you can upload your block and then stack it and repeat it on products. So once your Redbubble products are finished, you can go ahead and save your work. Once it's entirely processed, you'll be able to see it live on the Redbubble website. Oh, and for both Society6 and Redbubble, sometimes it can take up to 15-20 minutes before you see it live on your shop. It's just processing in the back end. And last but not least, let's go back over here to Spoonflower. And now that this new size has saved, let's see how it looks on products. Awesome, so this smaller size is actually looking a lot better on products than the larger one. So I think this is going to be good to go. This is exactly where I'm going to keep it. So I'll go back to Spoonflower, and I want to go ahead and enable it for all products. So Spoonflower is a little bit different from Society6 or Redbubble. For Spoonflower, you actually have to purchase a sample swatch of your design before you can enable it for sale. And the reason they do this is, again, because those repeat patterns are so tricky to make. They want to make sure that it's actually going to line up and look good when you approve that sample before other people can purchase your artwork. So if you want to have a particular design for sale on Spoonflower, you have to purchase a swatch first. But for the other two, Society6 and Redbubble, once your design is published, anyone can buy it. All right, so that is a wrap for the behind the scenes with print on demand. I hope you enjoyed this behind the scenes peek into my uploading process. Next up, I have a few final thoughts to share with you in our last video of today's class.